What's going on, everybody? Devil's Advocate here. So first and foremost, I believe that this video that I'm shooting, this video that I'm about to post, is probably the most important video I have posted, and more than likely will be the most important video I will ever post. I was thinking about how to shoot this video for so long. I've postponed shooting this video for a very long time. There's no good way to shoot this video, so I'm just gonna throw it out there. I was doing research on certain things to cover, certain topics to cover in future videos, and I found myself on the CIA website. And while I was going through some of the unclassified or declassified files on the CIA website, I came across a book by Dumb Luck. Maybe or maybe not Dumb Luck, but I will not go into that because I told you I don't believe in luck, but I think whatever, right? But fact of the matter is, I came across a book, and then when I came across a book on the CIA website, and two things popped in my mind. One, since when does the CIA classify books? Two, the book was originally 274 pages. And by the time it had been declassified, it had been scrubbed and sanitized down to a 56-page document. Obviously, I'm intrigued. A, why did the CIA classify this book in the first place? B, what's in that book where the CIA says, okay, we're going to declassify this book now, but it's not going to be 274 pages anymore. It's going to be 56 pages. I need to know what's in that book. I need to find the rest of that information. So I read what was declassified. 56 pages. And everything that I'm telling you about, I'm linking in the description below. I had a very hard time finding the rest of that book. I found one seller on eBay that wanted to sell that book for $1,000. Didn't want to pay $1,000 for that book. So then I did some digging, I did some searching, went through all types of chat forums, found one person in the chat forum who owned the book, and he did a scanned PDF version of the book in color. And he gave it out for free for people who are interested in reading the book. So what's the title of this book? The title of this book is called The Adam and Eve Story. And it was written in 1963 by Chan Thomas. So why was this book classified? Why was it deemed classified in the first place by the CIA? There's two schools of thought on it. Theory number one, the book was deemed classified by the CIA because Chan Thomas was being interviewed by the CIA because of his abilities for investigative research. They were looking at hiring him. So because he was in the process of writing and publishing a book, I guess everything about him had gotten, I don't know exactly how it works, but I guess the way it works is if you're being interviewed by the CIA, a lot of things about you become classified during that interview process. That's what I heard. That's what I understand. And the other theory is that book got declassified. That book got classified because everything in that book, if that book had gotten traction, if too many people got a hold of that book and it became too widespread or well known, it would have freaked a lot of people out. And I'm not going to go into details of what this book is about because I need you to read this book. If you don't have time for 274 pages, start with the 56-page declassified document that I've linked in the description below And I promise you that will intrigue you enough to try to read the rest of the book. But there's a lot to unpack there. This book, when I read it, it made so many things that I had thought about throughout the course of my life that I thought were separate entities or separate things that didn't make sense. All of it connected. All of it made sense. And this is coming from somebody who was not religious. I'm telling you that. I'm on record right now saying that I am not a religious person. Not a religious person. And I read a book titled The Adam and Eve Story, and it changed my perception on damn near everything. That should say something. But those were the two theories. He was being interviewed, or the book itself just was too much. Because everything in that book, Chan Thomas, when he wrote the book, he understood that the contents of that book made him seem crazy. It made him seem like he was delving in the art of fringe science. So he took a scientific approach to every single point that he makes in his book. He makes a point and he backs it up with data. He backs it up with facts. It got to a point when I busted out my laptop and I was like, there's no way. I would have my laptop right next to me with the book. I'd be reading the book. I would come across something. I'd be like, there's no way that that's real. I would look it up, research it like clockwork. It was real. It's factual information. And the thing is, you don't know what you don't know. I didn't know some of this stuff in this book because I never thought to look for it because, like I said, you don't look for certain information until you're prompted or have a need to know basis, right? So you don't just go looking for everything. You have a tendency to research and look into stuff as you need to look for it. So I'm looking through this book and I'm like, that can't be real. That can't be real. That's not right. That's not right. And I go look it up. Boom, 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 boom. It's all there. Back in 1963, this book was written. Just keep that in mind. And then after you get done reading this book, remember where you are today. In the year 2020, look at how the world is functioning. Look at what's going on around you. And tell me that this book doesn't make sense. I don't want to get too deep into this book. But there's something about this book that I want to read real quick before I close off. Let me find it real quick. One moment. He gives a lot of credit out to people. But there's one shout out at the beginning of the book before the book starts, and I think it's important to read. And to all of those who ridiculed, scorned, and laughed, some relegating me to the nut house and even firing me, for how else would I have been so driven to pursue, solve, find, and derive the truth? I owe them. Now, think about that. And then think about every person in our history who has ever been deemed some type of genius, some type of visionary, and think about how that person was treated while they were here. Think about how they were ridiculed, just cast aside, deemed to be crazy, deemed to be just some lunatic. Only for society to find out far after the fact that they had it figured out well before everybody else did. And they were just trying to put you on notice. They were just trying to help everybody out, even when nobody wanted the help. So I don't want to make this long. I don't want to drag this out. I'm linking the description below. I'm linking you to the CIA website where the sanitized version is linked on the CIA website. And I have a full copy on my share drive. And I also have a National Geographic article from last year of 2019 that's going to bring some things into focus that that coasted under the radar. I don't even want to talk about what it is. You need to read it. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy.